Twitter has added a tip jar functionality. Did you experience this at all? Did you see this happen?
I didn't see it happen. I just read about it.
On your own Twitter account, you didn't get the prompt? Okay, so I got the prompt on the Twitter account to enable it.
Okay.
And, well, it's actually a little bit controversial. First of all, they talked about this a while back. They obviously are interested in capitalizing on the fact that many people now are paying other people for content that they want. Maybe not necessarily on Twitter, but on other platforms. And Twitter's sitting there saying, okay, we can take a piece of this, and maybe our users want it or we'll use it.
What's the split?
70-30.
Oh. And is this something you have to enable as a creator?
Can we verify that? Let me verify the 70-30. Twitter tip. 70-30. I want to be sure about it. Twitter tip jar. I'm sure they would have to list that somewhere. I don't know where I heard. Oh, here we go. Will be gradually increased from, wait a second, from 30 to 50 over the next couple of weeks? Hang on a minute. Is that real? Important stuff right here. Twitter today confirmed earlier reports it's testing a new tip jar feature. Tip jar, easy way to support your favorite content creators. For now, those using Twitter in English will be able to send a tip, and the profiles that have it enabled will show the tip jar icon on their profile page. In addition to the above, Android users will be able to send money via Twitter's Clubhouse competitor Spaces. So you can tip while you're watching someone on a space, which is kind of an interesting implementation. But actually, why did this article say 30 to 50? We're going to have to look this up after the fact, or someone's going to have to put it in the comments, but I believe it was 70-30. But the point being here, you have a way of interacting with your favorite content creators. If you think their tweets happen to be worth it, you can send a tip. Now, one thing that stood out to me right away was the integration of the Cash App, because this is another project, Jack Dorsey project. So he's got Twitter, and he's got Square, and he's got Cash App, which is, I believe, part of Square. And that was just one of many options, but it was in there. So you had the Cash App as a method for potentially sending a tip. You had PayPal, which is the most controversial because of something we're going to showcase here in a second. You had Venmo. You had Bandcamp, which is kind of like Patreon for musicians and things. Like maybe you want to tip a musician you really like easily via Twitter. So there's a few different options in there. Now, PayPal, the problem with PayPal is by default, it was configured. Now on PayPal, you can either send money as a friend or you can send money for a service or a product. It was configured service or product. Now, normally when you're buying a product from somebody, you want to give them your address so they can ship that product to you. It's definitely not when you're sending a tip.
Right.
But because it was enabled in that fashion, people who started sending tips via PayPal realized that they were actually sending their entire address as well to these users they were tipping, which obviously is not a thing you would want. This individual, Rachel Toback, discovered it, sent a few tips, and then was like, whoa, that's my whole address right there.
Yeah.
She was doing it in order to determine if that was,
right.
So she sent it to a trusted individual who could handle such information.
I'm guessing this is based off, so she paid $1, and then PayPal got 33 cents.
That's wild. Yeah.
So I'm guessing like
there's fees involved too.
It's like 60 or 66 and then 33. Like in terms of
well, what's weird about that is it looks like, oh, you receive, but that's the PayPal statement. The fee, I would presume, is PayPal's got to get their piece too.
Right. Is the fee the
I don't think so.
Payment?
I don't think so. I think Twitter's piece is coming off the 67.
Oh.
I don't know, man. Everybody, look at that. How many ways the things got to get split up?
Yeah. That's confusing.
It is a little confusing because it's
crypto will solve all of this.
Well, and some of these applications do have crypto options
for
sending payments, but they still going to take their fees.
I guess so, yeah. There's still transaction fees.
Yeah, they're still going to take their fees because it's not going to be crypto to crypto. Anyway, I'll be interested to see how people actually put this to use. I'm sure there are applications where it makes sense. A lot of people think there ain't no tweet I'm ever going to pay for, but there's other things that happen on the platform, other types of content that can be shared. And there are some individuals that could create business models around this thing. I'm sure. I just don't know what it is yet, but it also raises certain ethical questions. I know reading through this article, some journalists were a little raising some concerns around manipulation that you would, I don't know, be able to easily bribe people or something like that.
Right.
But I guess you could do this stuff anyways. That's the other part of it. It's like, wait, so this is just a shortcut to a PayPal button. Yeah. Like we can easily exchange money in all kinds of already convenient ways.
Yeah.
It just, I guess, took one click away from it and advertise the fact that you can send me money right on the page.
So is this something that you enabled?
You know what? I enabled it, but then what happened? I clicked on the PayPal thing. I'll tell you right now what happened. Here we go. Where was it? This is riveting stuff right here.
Technically, I can send you like...
Do you see it right now on my account? Do you see the tip jar? I feel like I enabled it, but I don't think I attached an actual payment medium once I got to the point of...
I don't see it. Is it supposed to be on your page here?
I think it is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look for it off the thing. But I think I got to the semi point of enabling such a thing, and then I bailed at the last second as I realized, well, let me edit my profile. Tip jar, there it is. It should be on Unbox Therapy. Allow people to directly send you tips. The tip jar will appear on your profile when you've entered at least one third-party service username. Okay, so I didn't connect a payment yet.
And it should be like, what, here or something?
It is going to be around there. So there's Bandcamp, Cash App, Patreon, PayPal, and Venmo are the options. I have not attached any of those, so it's not showing up right now. But once I do, then you'll see the tip jar.
Yeah.
And
I guess we could figure out the fees by then.
We'll figure it out. You send me $1 and we'll see what happens, and we'll get to the bottom of it before the next episode. How about that?
Sure.
We're going to get to the bottom of this. But anyway, there you have it. Send each other a few pennies.